And also in last video we saw how can we create shared storage on our domain controller node. So as I said, our ultimate aim is to replace this old SAN with the new SAN. So whatever shared drives we used to have or currently have on this old SAN, those are quorum log01 and data01. Same three drives, shared drives we created on new SAN, but in different hierarchy. Those are quorum02, log02 and data02. Now our ultimate aim is to get rid of this old SAN. So we have to remove the dependencies one by one. So what all different dependencies we have on this old SAN? So if you scroll down at bottom of this documentation, the very first thing is user database. So whatever user data, so it's only one user database called HR, and corresponding MDF and LDF file of that HR database are currently stored on this old SAN. So in this video, we'll move those MDF and LDF file from this old SAN to a new location of new SAN. Alright, so let's go back to our node 1 first. So this is the HR databases which I was talking about. And if I go back to properties, go to files, and here you can see my MDF and LDF files. Those are currently part of G and V drive. So if I go to Windows Explorer, so G is data01 and V is log01. So we are going to move those MDF and LDF files from G to Y and V to Z respectively. Okay, so very first step is identify what those I mean we just saw that from SSMS, but using SQL query as well you can do that. So I will go to, I don't have to log into HR database, I can run that from master database as well. So if I run this guy, so these are the two things I get to see. So this is a user database, and perfect. Okay, now in order to modify that, you can modify that directly from SSMS, or you can hit alter statement. So I'll just copy this. Okay, and I have to change that from G to Y and V to Z. We'll just confirm once again. G to Y and V to Z, that is correct. Okay, so I will just alter it. I will just execute that statement. So the path specified is not okay. Reason being, okay, is not valid. Is not in a valid directory. Is not in a valid directory. So what I did wrong. So let me validate once again. Oh, this part doesn't exist. I need to create that. So MS SQL, I'll copy this guy, and inside that, so this is Y drive, so I have to create data, and C drive, MS SQL, and inside that log, all caps. So let's run this again. Perfect, it ran, but what it says is the new path will be used next time the database is started. So what it means is we have to take that database offline and again online, and it should work ideally. So but let's validate that. So if I run this query again, see it got changed over here, Y and Z, but it is still not in effect. Okay, we have to, as that message told said, we have to first make it offline, then online, and then it should work. So you can make that database offline from here directly, or you can run the script. I will run the script. And remember, I am doing everything from my master database only. Perfect. If I refresh this guy now, it's in offline state. Now if I make it, now there is another step, move the physical files. Let's move the files now. So this is already opened. What I will do, I will open another Windows Explorer. Perfect. And Z log, I will have to go to log01. Perfect, this is done. After that, data, data 01, We have moved the fiscal files now. Those are on correct locations. The next step is grant the access. We'll skip this step and we'll see the consequences of that. I will try to make that database online. Let's see. So we don't need this. We don't need, oh, we'll keep this. And let's try to bring that database online. Now what it says is it failed. What it says is unable to open the physical file. Access is denied. So the SQL Server service is trying to access that file, but it's not able to access it. Reason being there is no access, insufficient privileges. So first of all, identify which user we using to run the SQL Server service. So let's go to SQL Server Configuration Manager. Okay, the user is sql.prd.server. So we have to basically grant access to that path. Okay, so what I will do, so let's grant access to this path first. I'll go to security, advanced. Okay, and I will click add. Okay, cancel. I will click edit, add sql.prd.server. Perfect. Allow all access. Continue. And let's validate it once again. Advance and replace all child object permission entries with inheritable permission entries for this object. I will click apply. Perfect. Let's go inside. This path, this folder should have access now for SQL PRD server. It does have access. Let's check actual file. Doesn't have access. Why is that? Let's go to advanced and go to editing, effective access. There has to be permission, add. Enable inheritance. So moment you click enable inheritance, apply. Now this file has access. All right. Okay. Now let's go back. Let's replicate same thing on log02 as well. I'll go to security, edit, add sql.prd.server. Click OK. Allow and all access. Okay. Click advance. Apply. Okay. Let's validate the actual file. Doesn't have access. I will go to advanced, change permissions, enable inheritance, apply. Okay. So now it does have access. Ideally, it should work. So let's try. And it did work. So if I refresh, it should be online. Perfect. It is online. Let's query. Let's first try to connect it. Select get date. Perfect. It's working. And if I validate my files, those are now moved from G to Y and V to Z. Perfect. So we'll stop here, and in next video, so currently we just saw about user databases. For system databases excluding master, okay, some tricky part. Reason being, we could took that database offline. We could took the HR database offline individually because this database doesn't depend on any other database. But when it comes to system databases, these databases are dependent on remaining databases as well. So you cannot take this database offline the way you took HR database. So there is some different way we have to do it. We'll see that in the next video. So thank you for watching this video and see you in the next video.